Hey, how's it going? I'm Sebastian, and today I want to talk about something that has been coming up a lot in universities lately, and that is AI in education. More specifically, I'm going to look at whether AI actually helps the students learn or whether it might be doing more harm than good. And I'm not just going to give you my opinion, I'm basing this whole presentation on three published academic articles. The first by Eli and colleagues, published in 2025, which look at how AI tools affect feedback and personalized learning. The second is by Chuwer from 2024, which studied adaptive learning and platforms in universities. And the third is by Aprianto and colleagues, also from 2025, which focuses specifically on AI dependency and also on critical thinking. So, a quick word on where this information comes from before we actually get into it. LI focused on AI assisted feedback, basically, how AI tools can give students faster and more personalized responses than a human structure realistically could never compare to. Chuwer took a broader look at adaptive platforms and how they're changing the way students access information. And the third, by Aprianto, raised some important concerns, specifically that the more students rely on AI, the less they might be developing their own critical thinking skills. And these three studies together give us a pretty balanced picture of where the research is right now. Okay, so let's start with the advantages. There are two main advantages that researchers keep coming back to. The first one is faster, more personalized feedback. Uh, that's that comes actually from the first source, which is LI, and they found that AI tools can adapt the content to each student's individual pace and provide almost instant feedback, which is awesome and a huge improvement. And if you just think about it, like if a professor is teaching, I don't know, 200 students, they just can't give everyone detailed and timely feedback, and AI can. So that's a huge advantage. And according to the research, that actually makes a difference in how well students learn. The second main advantage is that AI can support creativity and problem solving when it use well like when it AI is used as a part of structured classroom activities and not just as a shortcut, let's say. Generative AI can actually help the students brainstorm. It can also explore different perspectives and also develop their ideas. The key word will be structure here, because it works best as a tool students actively engage with and not something like they just copy from. Okay, now it wouldn't be a fair analysis if I only talk about the benefits, because there are also some real concerns here. The biggest one is the over reliance and the loss of critical thinking in the students. Apranto found that when students get used to asking AI for answers, they tend to stop doing the mental work, and over time, that weakens their ability to reason independently and tackle complex problems on their own. So it's not about just cheating, it's about the students missing out on the cognitive struggle that actually helps knowledge stick in your brain. And the second disadvantage is the risk of academic dishonesty and the inaccurate information. AI doesn't always give you the right things, and it can confidently produce more wrong information, and it makes like an easy way though for students to submit work that they didn't really think about it. So universities are still figuring out how to respond to this, and it's a genuine challenge for them. Okay, so now the question is, how does all of this actually affect how students learn day to day? And the research points to two very different directions. On one hand, AI can generally boost learning efficiency, like students get feedback faster, which means they can correct mistakes earlier, and platforms can adjust to individual needs. So instead of everyone moving at the same pace, each student gets like content matched to where they actually are. For example, Chuwer found that this kind of personalization can meaningfully improve academic outcomes. But on the other hand, there's evidence that AI can actually weaken deep learning, like when students use AI to generate their ideas or answers, they often skip the mental effort that makes knowledge stick. For example, Aprianto found that students who rely heavily on AI tend to struggle like more when they face complex and open-ended tasks. So the irony is that AI might be making some parts of learning easier while quietly undermining the stuff that actually matters long term. So one important thing to me here is that we still need to keep doing research, and we still need time to actually figure out if AI is actually helping or doing harm to students, because as I said before, there are two sides of it. The good side is that it makes the students more efficient, it can help you with personalization, and that makes you learn faster. But on the other hand, it helps you so much that you don't even have to think or make a mental effort to get to conclusions or to get ideas of to solve problems. So long term, that affects like our brain, like it get used to get done everything so easily that you like weaken your brain. And as any other muscle, well, the brain is not a muscle, but you need to train it. So there is those two sides. It makes you more efficient, you learn faster, it helps with personalization, but it actually can be harmful on long term. So we still need to do research and be very careful when we use AI to learn. Okay, so now what is the key takeaway from all of this? And to me is that the research is actually pretty clear. AI has real potential in education. It can make learning faster, of course more personalized, and also more engaging for students. So that's very clear. And that potential is entirely dependent on how it gets used. So it's also the students' responsibility to use it correctly. And when institutions set clear guidelines and students use AI as a thinking tool and not a replacement to thinking, the benefits are real. But when they are not what rates, the risks are just as real, like weaker critical thinking, less original work, and more dishonesty, which is pretty concerning. And as one way to put it, AI's effectiveness in education depends almost entirely on how institutions and students choose to use it. And that's something that universities need to take uh, really seriously and need to help students to use AI the correct way. And yeah, that's my conclusion. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like my research and my presentation.